All right. Well, we are right at 9:30, 10:30 some of your time. Welcome to today's Coffee and Conversation. We are super excited. We have got Pete Regules, as everybody knows, that's been joining us on these calls and travels around. You may have seen him. He's a great influencer, motivator that travels around. He is with CORT as well. And we are very excited. Pete, I'm going to roll it over to you to introduce Jamin today. And we have gone through some of this content and very excited for you guys to see what Jamin's put together for us today. So Pete?
Awesome. Coffee and conversation. Got our coffee mugs. We're ready to go. You know, again, I told you each week that Tiffany and John Lee started this. I think they had 8 people to start, and then it went to 50, and then 100, 150. We were almost at 200 last week, and it looks like we're going to break 300 this week. And the reason that's happening is because this is a conversation. This is real world. This is actionable items, things that are going on today. Tony Blake has been awesome. She's brought us unbelievable content. All of that can be found on a YouTube channel that Tiffany and John Lee, you guys have put together. Make sure. So if you missed a session, and we are recording this one. So anyway, world's record coffee and conversation, the biggest one we've ever had. And a personal friend of mine, Jamin Harkness, is with us today. Jamin, I love you, man. I've got this big bio. I'm not gonna. You were the executive partner at the management group, but more importantly, you're you're part of the fabric of this industry. You've been on stage with me at the Apartment All Stars, but more importantly, you're in the field today with your teams, and you're leading other teams that aren't even with your company on how to get through this crisis. And more importantly, how to rent apartments, how to take care of your employees, how to take care of your customers. So I'm just going to turn it over to you. Can we get some jazz hands in the audience? Let's welcome Jamin to there we go. Let's get it going. Jamin, the floor is yours, man.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Pete. You know, I missed the class in college and in my CAM and my CAPS about how to manage during a pandemic. I mean, you know, nothing has really prepared us for this. So anyway, thank you for having me here. And today I'm going to throw a bunch of technology at you and some of the things that we've learned, you know, during this time. So, you know, let's see. Let me try to make sure I can get my slides advancing. One of the things that I always preach, I've been preaching it for a few years now. I read a book called Making Yourself Indispensable. And so this is really important to me and training my team. And they sure do love it when I buy them the book and make them go over chapters with me. But the thing is called the accountability loop. That's what we're doing. And the accountability loop talks about whenever you approach a situation right here in the middle here, you have a choice to go up into the accountability loop and do the right thing and take responsibility for it and say, I'm not going to be a victim and let things happen to me. So that's kind of been our guiding light, our premise for how we've gone through all of this. So it's a great book, worth a good read. If you want to make yourself indispensable, I strongly recommend that. So I really am a fan of clear communication. And one of the things that we've done, one of the hardest things is that when we sent everyone home, we didn't want to furlough people. And how do you lease apartments from your home, right? How do you do that? So I am a big believer in unspoken expectations are the breeding ground of resentment. So I spoke my expectations. We came up with a daily activity report. Now, I did this back in the 90s when I was in leasing, and we had to handwrite it every day and fax it in to somebody. But I came up with a form system online, and our team members, it's for our leasing consultants. And what it does is it gives them direction of what we're expecting. It lets them talk about their accomplishments and things. I've learned new ways of leasing just by reading these daily reports. It lets them tell us any concerns that they have, and a huge response to this. And so this is part of the accountability loop, is it's transparency into what they're doing daily. And so I can explain to my owners, yes, we have, you know, all these leasing consultants sitting at home, but this is what they're doing every single day. It's really enhanced our resident activities.
Hey, Jamie, let me ask you a question because there's a big disconnect in my mind. We have people on the front lines every day dealing with this crisis, working extremely hard, and then we have our executives that are making decisions in some other city, and probably working from home. I love this. Can you, I think there's communication that I want to hear as an employee, but then also maybe if I'm an owner, I want to know what's really going on. And got any like a good example of something that's happened recently that you could share with us, or how this is really benefiting your teams? This report.
Yeah, we had a report that they keep fielding complaints from residents that the dog bags in the pickup station, the dog bags were not filled up. I didn't know about that, and I was able to just quickly look into that and help them solve that problem. It's a small thing, but that's coming right up unfiltered from our residents. And so we get to hear about their concerns, what complaints they're getting, what challenges are they having, and we have some fun stuff in here too, like what's your favorite restaurant? Tell me how you're feeling today, and stuff like that. But we're able to focus in on what's important to us.
And that's every day.
Yeah, it's a daily report. It's done on an awesome software called Wufoo. It's easy to build out, and then when they hit submit, it goes to a whole chain of it goes to their manager, to the regional, to me, and it goes, and the owners can see them too. It's just a way, and they have a chance to speak to me every day about what did they do, and that way we're not micromanaging them every single day and making sure that they're working.
That's awesome. Thumbs up. You like that idea. Sorry to interrupt, Jamie. I just wanted to get some clarity, but I love that. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about video love. So we have really embraced video, and I'm not quite a boomer, but I'm definitely not a millennial. And so I've had to lean in and listen to my awesome leasing people. One of the biggest things we've learned during all of this is that video is a way to communicate. If you don't believe it, just look at your leasing people. Every minute they're on their phone, they're TikToking and everything. I even discovered that my son has a TikTok, and everyone asks me if I'm on TikTok, and I'm like, no, because I'm not 20, I'm not 12. But guess what? I'm on TikTok now, and now we're advertising with it. So I just thought I would show you some video tips and some of the ways that we're using video. And this is all things that leasing consultants can do. And that's kind of like I said, the biggest lesson I've learned is that my leasing people can really help me with marketing. So this is a TikTok we did about one of our communities in Florida. That cute? Just a few seconds. I'll play it one more time. We have thousands of views of this one. It's just amazing. That's our awesome marketing director, Brooke. And Pete, you could hear the audio on that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was great. Yeah.
Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is one of our properties where this is a video, and you're going to think it's professionally made. It was made on an iPhone through iMovie, and apparently on iMovie you can go into YouTube and you can grab some footage if it's like public footage. So this is a property that's up in North Georgia, and they just grabbed some footage of the local area. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just kind of show you some of this.
It froze up a little bit on my end.
I'll go ahead and stop it. Yeah, so that's just a video of, and they put in the titles at the bottom, and it just shows the area, and it's just a way that they created as a way of advertising. And when the pandemic started, we asked all of our leasing consultants, in the back of my mind, I knew that our software, and at our company, we use Reality, but I have buddies over at RealPage and Entrada, the other big ones, and I know that they can do this, and that there's places to put video. And there's also places to put each floor plan. And instead of a professional, looks like we have let me go back to the current slide. So instead of having it professionally done, I sent our team members in. This is, she did it for me in English and Spanish. This is a Spanish one. And I just thought I'd show you how fun it is.
Hola, hola, muy buenas tardes nuevamente. Aquí estamos en la...
And you get the idea. Isn't that fun?
No, it's great.
apartamento
Then,
de...
Hi, Jennifer. Melissa with the Crest Laurel Canyon.
we started this thing with doing little 6-second videos of follow-up. And so we've decided it's better that to be brief, keep it short, mindful of the message type and where you're pushing it out. Vertical is sometimes better, and vertical. So this is a quick little short one from Melissa. Let me play it.
We are so excited to tour you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Please let me know if there's anything I can do for you in the meantime.
Finding is that our prospects, we're doing these pre-videos, before an appointment or before a virtual tour. This next one is one where we did a virtual tour of an apartment and we just held our phone up and showed some pictures, and this is a post-video follow-up.
Hey, Lewis. Hey, Lewis. It's Ashley from the Crest of Berkeley Lake. I'm just doing a follow-up video from our virtual tour we had earlier. I know how much you love this apartment, and come on, duh. 2219. It's got the hardwood floors, it's got the renovations, and it's got the high ceilings that you want. And also, the location could not be better. That's West.
All right, well, anyway, I'm getting a little vertical because the camera's bouncing around so much, but do you know what? Lewis shared this with his friends, and it ended up on his social media page, and he tagged us, and we saw it. So, so it's just a new way of following up. This is so I recommend pre-videos, post-videos. We also have rolled out during this time self-guided tours, and this is a pre-appointment video for self-guided tours. And I'll show you, this is one. And so I don't give them a script. I want them to be natural. I want them to film it in their own element. This guy's filming it in our, looks like a resident lounge. This is Hunter, and I'll just play a little bit of this, and you can see a pre-appointment follow-up video, customized to the exact person.
Hey Marissa, it's Hunter from the Crest at Sugarloaf. I just wanted to do a quick follow-up reminder about your self-guided tour that you have scheduled for tomorrow at 1:30. I know you're gonna love it, and I cannot wait to hear your feedback from it. So let me know as soon as you get done. Also, you're gonna be receiving a couple emails.
All right, so you get the idea. Isn't that cool, Pete?
No, I think that's great. First thing I'm noticing, and this didn't cost you any money, right? This is
zero money, zero money.
Okay, jazz hands for zero money. All right, we like that. Zero money. Can you give us some tips on? I know some people are nervous about letting their employees do this on their own. Did any of these guys practice any of this? Are you worried that one of your employees might be these guys are great, but what about the other people that might not do it so well? Any thoughts on that?
I think if through a lens. I think it sharpens their skills. And I'm not with them when they're touring in the model. I don't know what they're pointing out in the models and the vacant apartments. And I mean, they're my front line. I have to sales people now. Send them to me for feedback. And I was like, dude, you forgot the granite in the new renovated apartment. I just paid a lot of money for that. Could you maybe point out the granite? And they reshot it. So I just think be open to feedback. And, you know, one of the hardest lessons of growing up in being is understanding that people can accomplish the same thing in ways.
Yeah, I would just add to it that I think it's okay to shoot multiple of these, practice it, but definitely be natural. Let them have their own personalities. You can see 3 different personalities on the screen there now. But just like we practice walking through a tour, and the apartment tour should be different for everybody, right? Meet your fair housing rules, but each tour should be different. Each video ought to be different. It ought to be personalized. So I think these are great.
Yeah, they're 15 seconds to 20 seconds is what we find sends over internet. And you know, sometimes you know, they don't want to send it from their own cell phone, so they just email it to themselves and then they email it on. So yeah, it's a few more clicks, but like I said, our prospects are sharing it, and now we have prospects putting it on their social media. I mean, who doesn't like to get a video that says, you know, and get a subject line in the email that says, Pete, a video for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hey, Jamin, talk about that just really quick about so they don't want to use their personal phone, right? You're working around that, right?
They're taking it on their personal phone, emailing the video to their work email, and then sending the video from their work email.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So So another thing that we're doing is pets. Now, Pete, have you heard what we've been doing over at the management group?
Well, I've heard some rumors, but to be honest with you, I didn't believe it. I hear it's like no pet deposits, no extra fees, no. Talk to us. Come on, tell me more.
Yes, so we started asking the hard questions. We said, okay, breed restrictions. Well, we can't have, pit bulls. Why? Why can't we have pit bulls? Well, the insurance won't let us. Well, we checked with our insurance and they're like, well, we never said that. Well, the CDC guidelines of aggressive breed, they're like, no, they don't really have that. And really it's about the behavior of the pet owner. And then we're like, okay, why do we have weight limits? Why do I care if your dog is 60 pounds or 70 pounds? I mean, I get a pet deposit. I mean, the thing is, there's a statistic. I was on a call last week, and 60% of prospects or apartment renters have a pet. And there are so many that are turned away because of breed restrictions and weight limits. Well, guess what? You come live in one of my communities because we're going to make sure that your pet has a good FIDO score. So we use a company called PetScreening.com. And so you want to write this down and talk to your managers and your regionals because it is free. And I don't work for them. And they haven't even bought me a Subway sandwich. I just love the product because here's what it does. They give you a FIDO score instead of a FICO score, and you have to, the pet owners upload their shot records and they sign affidavits, and even the non-pet owners go on and they sign affidavits that say, if I get a pet, I will let the management know, and if I'm even babysitting a pet, I will let management know. And so it ties in with our Yardi system, so I know that everybody's gone through pet screening, and the best thing they do, they handle all service animal requests. Right. So here's what happens when you say I don't allow pit bulls. Guess what you're going to get? You're going to get a service animal pit bull, right? And then you can't charge pet deposit for any of that. So why not just open up your arms and allow all of them in? You know that 60% of the service animal requests that go through pet screening, 60%, they really do screen and make sure they have the right training. And here's the deal: I don't want my team to be worried about, is it really a legit service animal or not? So they kind of teach you the difference between pets and animals, and it's a free service. The pet owners, you're registered with them, and it's zero fee for a service animal before anyone talks to me about fair housing. It's just a great new service. It allowed me to have the confidence to remove breed restrictions and weight limits. The other thing everyone worries about with large pets is that let's talk about it, the poop everywhere. And so we rolled out poop prints. Have you ever heard of this, Pete?
Actually, I have. I love these guys. Yeah, poop prints. Yes.
Yeah. So let me for people on the call, and thank you everybody for being patient with me as we stay on this slide that has the word poo on it. They take the DNA, they swab. The pet owner comes into the office and they swab the dog's mouth, and then they send it to DNA. Well, if there's poop on the property, we have a collection kit. We send that in, and they match it to the DNA. And the first fine is $350. The next each fine after that's $500. Guess what? My pet have poop anywhere on it. It only takes a few people getting charged, and we're very serious about it. So we made a TikTok about it, of course. So here you go. I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% a good boy. So poop prints, and that have them working together. Also, whenever you manage your dog poop, it's for one pet love. Also enjoy living in the community because it keeps the community clean. Now, so there's a cost when you do poop prints. All I did was we have a pet fee and a pet up front. We were just raised it to 300 and 200. And so now just added $100. That more than covers the DNA collection and it covers the testing whenever you scoop it up again. So it makes it simple. I don't believe in pet rent. I don't do it. A lot of people are saying, well, $30 a month. I hear you. And I know there's some companies here in Atlanta $50 a month. And pet owners, some will pay it. I don't know. If it was me, I would have a little bad taste in my mouth if I'm paying $50 because pet like your member. And so here's what I did. I did an analysis, Pete, of how many renewals with pet stay, because I have all these my pets. We've converted tennis courts, dog parks. It's taken a few years to do this, and we have dog bones on every single desk, and we have we invite our prospects to bring their animals on the tours. I did an analysis and I looked at 4 months, and of the residents that have pets, 80% new. You know what? I don't need pet rent because I've hedged my vacancy loss. That's retention. It's fantastic. The other thing is we buy these life-size looking pets, and we stuff them in our models and our offices and stuff just to show that we are super pet friendly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's say it again. No pet rent, huh? That's real.
I didn't need it because they're going to renew with me.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
I got one more of these TikToks to show you because we're trying to go to where our people are watching. And, I got to warn you, Pete, are you on TikTok yet?
I have not ticked or talked yet, but I will this afternoon.
I mean, my 12-year-old son is on it, and I was surprised when I got on it and it suggested I follow him. He has about 14 videos. He's using little titles. He's using hashtags like IRL. I had no idea what that was. I had to look it up, make sure it was okay. And so here's one. Nope. Breed restrictions. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. That one has thousands of views also. So that's our pet love.
Jamin, I just want to comment that I love your use of video in almost everything that you're doing, and that's if I read it, it's one thing, but if I view it, it's totally another. And they're short and it's a burst. It's right to the point. We have pet rent? No, we don't. You know what I mean? And the different things. So we're getting tons of chats of people saying they love it. So this good stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've already got to this slide or not because I'm trying not to mess up the presentation, but I wanted to tell you, if you guys haven't heard of Fiverr, Fiverr.com, I was talking to some people about it this morning. You know what Fiverr is?
I've heard of it. I've never used it before.
So it's a marketplace worldwide where people will make graphics for you or make videos for you, or they'll call and break up with your boyfriend, or they will fix your website for you. Or so you go out there and everything starts at $5. And so I made I'll show you here in a minute. I made an infographic for $10. I made an explainer video for $45, like one of those cartoon videos. And I don't know if you saw in one of my previous videos, the title slide where this logo zooms in. I told you we made that on iMovie, right, on the phone. Well, guess what? It cost $5 to get that. And we just loaded the file into the phone and we just added it in. So that's Fiverr. All right, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about self-guided tours. Now, I think it's next week that the awesome Tony Blake is doing a whole session on this, but I had a story that I have to tell about it. Is that okay, Pete?
Yeah, oh, please, please.
Yes, so we rolled out self-guided tours, and I'm not going to get into the technology and all that and how it all works. There's so many ways to roll it out, but we've always had wow fridges, and we stuff them full with snacks, and we use we go on Instacart or one of these grocery delivery things because I don't need my people out shopping all the time. And we stuff them full every day on our open the store chest. And whenever I added a camera in there so I could see what's going on because we're doing these self-guided tours in our models. And we put signs up, smile on camera, so it's not creepy. And then we put a sign on the fridge that says, open me for a snack. Well, when we were watching some of these self-guided tours in the beginning, we saw someone go over, open up the fridge. They were really wowed. They grabbed a bag of Cheetos, they grabbed a Coke, and they went and sat down on my sofa in the model, and they had a snack. And it's almost like I scripted it. They said, wow, I could really see myself living here. And we're finding that our average self-guided tours are spending about 40 to 45 minutes. We don't do that in our tours. So that tells you there's a desire that maybe we don't need to rush it. And it's really worked out well. Tony has some really unique techniques. And when she was telling me about it earlier this week, I was like, I'm absolutely going to be on that call with you next week.
No, that's good. That's going to be great. What we're really trying to do with Coffee and Conversation is hit on things in IRL, right? In real life, things are really happening, right? And things that we need to deal with, and it's a different world. So that's a great story. The Wow Fridge has been around forever, but I got to see that video at some point where the guy says, "Wow, I love it."
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know why my computer. There we go. So let's keep moving. So next thing, I mentioned this earlier, but listen, I say enhance your website. All of the, if you're a consultant, speak up. I listen to leasing consultants. They're throwing ideas at me all the time, but all three of the major property management softwares, and I'm sure even the other ones too, they all offer this. And I knew it was there. I never really kind of like leaned into it. So we've added video, and I'm going to show you this here in just a minute. We've added video to each floor plan type. We've added amenity pictures. You know, people want to see your amenities, especially right now if your offices are closed. You need to get out there and take pictures, and they don't have to be professional. You can edit them on your phone. And then we've added unit level photos. This has kind of been our biggest thing for us, is that it's always been available, and I just thought it was a pain to do. But look at this, you can click on, so we're sending our teams out to go take pictures of the units, and I think on Yardi we can only put 5 pictures. But guess what? We picked out, everybody wants to see the kitchen, everybody wants to see one bathroom, everybody wants to see a bedroom and a living room and a patio. And so we just knock it out. And when we go look at our Google Analytics, people are spending time looking through these photos. It's really working. We've added maps. They've always been available. You just upload your site plan and you drop pins all over it, and people can see where they can live. So anything that's kind of like beyond what you're scared to do, or, you know, I'm not a graphic designer, just go look at Fiverr. It's kind of like a rabbit hole. You'll fall into it. It's really cool. And then I'm going to show you some resident love. So if it's okay, and I'm going to be finished right after this, I'm going to jump real quick into into a website and show you some of this. Is that okay, Pete?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let me switch screens and get it to go right now. Hang on just a second. I learned that it's easier to turn it off and turn it back on. So can you see my website right now?
Not yet. So, John Lee, are you seeing it?
Need my friends to let me know if they can see it or not.
Yes, I can see it. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I guess Pete is on a dial-up. So
I must be.
So all of the websites offer pop-ups. This is just our pop-up because I'm trying to push this. If your company doesn't have self-guided tours, don't worry about it. I told you to show some resident love. One of the things we've started is this thing down here. I don't know if you've heard of it, called Rent Grata, where it's our residents sign up and it pops up and it says, hey, I live here. Would you like to ask some questions? And if you move in, we'll split the resident referral. Right now I looked at it this morning, about 17 people that are live signed up at this property, and you can sort it by, I'm a 1-bedroom, I'm a parent, I'm a 2-bedroom. We've gone through our attorneys. It's all fair housing fine. We don't even see the conversations. But if the person moves in and they've registered a conversation, you know, the software Rent Grata lets us know. It's a way for our residents to make money. And we also are pushing, you know, resident referrals too. That's one thing. And then I was going to show you some of these website enhancements. I told you that if you go look at the amenity page, make sure that you add some pictures on your amenity page. If I say hardwood LVT flooring, let's make sure we show that, right? And then on the floor plan page, this is where there's a lot of opportunity. I've got my tours up here. I showed you one of them earlier with Madeline showing the apartments, and so I've added them there and here. And then on the unit level availability pages, you can go in and you can actually add photos right here to your vacant apartments. Now, some of these aren't vacant. Like I can't add photos to this unit, 6006, because it's not open until August. But you can go in here and I can click on it. Let's see what this apartment looks like. Do I like it? Well, it has a nice tray ceiling and oh, look at that view. It looks over the park. Okay, that's an okay bedroom. Got some chocolate doors going on there. And so they're called unit level photos. It's easy to do, easy to add. And then if you want to go look at the details, this is something that a lot of management companies do not use. It's going in and adding your unit level details. You know how your apartments all have a market rent, and then they add, you know, $20 for the pool view, or $20 for the fireplace, or $150 for a renovated, whatever. Why not show that here? So all of the software companies have this available. It's called your unit level amenities. And then they all also have, and if you need a site map, go to Fiverr. That's what I did. Look at this. You click on this, Pete, and it shows you, this is a Fiverr site map. It shows you where the units are available. All of your softwares can do this. Why are we not using this? I mean, it's got to be whatever. And so our leasing teams, after we went through this, they're spending a lot of time with our prospects on the website, showing them how they can really see everything instead of having to sit in front of their desk. And the last thing I'll show you is that when we rolled out our self-guided tours, I told you this is an example of an infographic that I did here for this one cost me $10. Isn't that cool?
$10. Okay. Twice the
$10
price.
for that. So basically, you draw what you want on a piece of paper, and I can't even draw. I draw stick figures and things, and then you send it in. The guy that made this, he's 16 years old and he's in Pakistan. I did it on Fiverr, and he said, I'll do any infographic for you for $10. So I looked up his ratings and reviews, and I looked up his work. I liked it. I said, my colors are navy and gray. Boom. He gave this to me. We did a few revisions, and that's how I'm using it. This is an explainer video right here that I did. This one, an explainer video, cost a little bit more. I think I paid $45 for this, and I just explained in bullet points in an email what I would like each shot to be. And this thing right here has thousands of views already.
She wants to go check out a new apartment home, but she never has time to get there for a tour before the office closes.
Isn't that cool looking?
Wow.
Yep. So that's all I got to show you today, buddy.
Well, we're getting some questions here. Let's work backwards. So let's just talk about that last video you did. So how did you do that with Fiverr? Just one more time. Just walk us through that.
I take a blank piece of paper. I go steal it from the printer, and then I draw. I think it's called storyboards. I draw these little boxes on it, and I do like I'm not a technical person, so I just kind of draw stick figures, and I just say hey, and I write down a few bullet points, and then they give me something. Sometimes I write out the script. Doing that video for me probably took me an hour to submit it, and probably another hour or two of some revisions back and forth. In the end, I paid $45 for it. I mean, some people think creating these things are so hard to do, but I mean, I've done follow-up videos like that. I've done 3 simple steps to move in videos, infographics and videos, and any kind of like digital content you need. It's easy to do on Fiverr. We also use a software called Canva. That's kind of like creating digital content also for $12 a month.
Canva. So what I'm hearing you say a lot is a lot of communication with your employees on the day. But you sound like you're over communicating to the resident. You're making it frictionless. You're making it easy, right? You're giving them short videos. Is that accurate? Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, the longer video, what we did is we just go put it on a YouTube channel, and then all of the softwares, if you're going to put it on your software, they don't want to host that video. So go put it on YouTube, and then grab the link on YouTube and go throw it on your website. And then the shorter videos, keep them 15 to 30 seconds, and you can easily email them through your email.
Okay. We got a question on, could you touch on Rent Grata again? I think it might have went too quick.
Rent Grata is a software. Let me see if I can share my screen again, and I'll just show it to you one more time. Rent Grata is a way, and I'm really using it, and my residents appreciate it for. Is my screen showing there, John?
I don't see it on my end.
All right. You can go look at it at pressedsugarloaf.com, and it's there at the bottom. There are these 3 little bubbles. It's an easy patch. They send you the code, and your IT person puts it on your website. I don't know why it's not sharing. Let me try one more time. Share content, and then we'll go share right here.
But the basic concept of Rent Grata is literally
sign up. Yeah, your residents sign up to be a testimonial. So here's the deal. A lot of people are probably like clutching their pearls and saying, "Oh my God, what if my residents talk smack about me? Damn!" And so here's what happens. Your residents won't get a resident referral if the person doesn't move in. So there's an incentive for them to talk. And so my resident referrals were $400. I split it. It says, hey, I live here. I think my video is showing now. It says it is. If you want to learn more from my point of view, ask me and we'll split the reward. You'll make $200. When you open it up, you can see all the different residents that are there that are ready to talk to you. And it's done not through our software. It's all done through theirs. I only get what's called sentiment analysis of like, what are the people talking about? But you can talk to a 1-bedroom single parent. You can talk to someone that's a commuter. Here's a 2-bedroom parent commuter, remote worker, likes to travel, pets, nightlife, concerts, art. So it's a way that the residents can make money and your prospects can get an authentic review without having to go to the review sites. It's so hard to keep up with, right?
Love it. No, that's great. That's great. One of the questions I got, I'll just read it. Have team members outside of those who are older than Gen Y embraced video to the level of doing the follow-up videos? Meaning the folks, your team members that are older, we get it. The younger guys are doing video. They love it. What about What about someone like an old guy like me?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a member. You go to one of my websites, you'll see it. You'll meet the guy. Absolutely, it's not hard. I mean, we all have to push ourselves out of the comfort zone. You know, back to the accountability thing, pushing myself out of the comfort zone. I was thinking while I'm working at home, I really want to make my owners know what I'm doing also. So I even self-report to my owners, even if they don't want it. So I think all of us are pushing ourselves a little into doing new things.
No, that's great. That's great. What other, are there any other tools that you just, that you're in the mode, right? You're talking about all this, this new normal. What other tools are there that you haven't mentioned? You may not have a slide for. Anything else that's hot right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about it right now. We are, I mean, we've added the texting widget on our website. That's surprising. People are really texting us, and honestly, more than 50% of them are residents. I think we just have to meet people where they are, and we are breaking the mold of you have to come in and sit down and let's fill out a guest card and give me your ID. We love checkpoint ID. When we're doing self-guided tours, we have like a checkpoint ID kind of scan on that. What happens is you register, it sends a link to your phone, and it says, hey, take a picture of your driver's license. They take a picture of their driver's license, and it tells them if it's legit or not. So in my first month of rolling it out at one property, I know the stats on my head, we had 39 that were scheduled, 9 ID fails. I'm happy about that. I don't want those people on my property. We wouldn't let them anyway go see our property. And of those 30 that did come, and all 30 came, we followed up on before and after 17 net rentals.
Wow. Wow. If you were working one-on-one with a leasing agent, let's just say you took over a new property, where would you start? Let's just say, what would you do? Where would you start?
We have a day one syllabus. I'll share it with anyone that, if Sweet Tiffany wants to share my email or whatever, I'm happy to share any of this. Anyone wants a copy of the daily activity report, or you want to know more details, I'm happy to send any of that. We start with having them shop the market. We want them to go, we give them a market survey. We say, get your story down, go shop the market. And they come back and we listen. Hey, how did they treat you? Well, I had to wait a long time here. I had to wait a long time here. It's the aha moment. And we do this regularly. All of our team members, like once a year, everybody has to shop the comps. It tells you, it's kind of like a mirror up to yourself. It's like, dang, am I doing the same thing? Am I making the prospect sitting out in the lobby right now feel the same way I felt over across the street? And then we have a property guide that, I've got a fancy name for it, where it makes them fill out all the questions. We have one bedrooms. What are the size? It makes them learn the words for the finishes. And then of course we have our online learning. We use Edge to Learn, and then they go through all of that. They have a whole week of activities for a brand new leasing consultant. And we don't have to send them anywhere. We don't have to schedule them on calls or any of that. We just have a syllabus that's written out, and they have to shop the market, fill out their property information, and then then they start shadowing.
And what would you do if it was an experienced leasing team, right? Pretty experienced. And what things are you looking for? Like for me, I want to look at the life cycle of the resident, their experience from the time they touch us on any of our websites all the way through till they move in. How do you handle that?
Yeah, we do. Well, we use CRM. I believe most companies are using a CRM for that. So we create our own touch points for all of that. The biggest thing for me, Pete, is that what I learned during this is that my leasing team had never really been on our website. They would just talk people in. They would paint the picture. And so I spent a lot of time training on our website and say, did you know it could do this? You don't have to explain where the units are because we done dropped the pin on the map. And you've got it right here live, and you can see which ones are coming available. You can show videos of it. So they're really learning more about their videos. And when they take a video of the fitness center, they load it up onto YouTube, and maybe they just go grab that link on YouTube and send it in an email to their residents, to their prospects.
No, that's great. What I'm hearing is see the experience through your customer's eyes, right? Shop yourself, basically, right? And once you do, it's an amazing eye-opening thing. And I think that's why we're leery about video, right? Because then you get to watch it and you go, oh, I forgot the granite countertops, or I didn't do this, I didn't do that, and that's okay, right? We just have to learn. We got to. I think you mentioned a couple times, you got to embrace right?
Yeah, exactly. And, make it personal. It takes just a minute to hold your phone up to your face and say, hey, Pete, I know you're coming tomorrow to see that 2-bedroom, and I can't wait for you to tell me what you think about it. Bye. I mean, that's it. And you'll love it. It has your name in it.
Well, for me, I think if you were telling me that, I believe it, because you've got a passion. You're an expert in the space. So this is it's very inspirational. Talk to me a little bit about your team. I know you love on your team a little bit. Can you share any stories? Because
yeah,
home, and then I got to deal with work, and then there's other stuff going on. I mean, and if my employer doesn't care about me, that's a problem.
Yeah, let's just put it out there too. If I'm gonna, is it okay if I'm gonna talk about leasing consultants and managers. If you're working from home, I want my manager to know that I'm really working. And on the other hand, for me, I want to make sure that they have direction. I thought maybe when I rolled out my daily activity report, and we even have a version of it for the managers too, and an assistant manager version. When we rolled these out, I thought maybe they would think it's a little micromanaging. It was the opposite. They love having the structure, and we communicate with every team member in our company once a week. We have 3 phone calls once a week. On Tuesdays, we do a maintenance call, and all maintenance sits there. And we love on our team members. We bought them lunch every Tuesday since March. And just in case you wanted to know, Taco Bell has a $25 taco bar that they will deliver. Takes about 2 or 3 if you have a bigger maintenance team. It's awesome. We've delivered Chinese. We deliver Chick-fil-A. Uber Eats is your friend. We ask them what's their favorite Mexican restaurant or whatever. And then our next call is with managers and all department heads from our corporate office. That has been so beneficial for us, because now the comments I'm getting are that I didn't really realize how much what they do impacts my job. And the corporate office people are saying, I had no idea that they're having to deal with this every day on site. Let me see if I can help make this better. And then on Fridays, we have this is my favorite call, our leasing calls. And so I have an agenda. I always make every call, tell me a good story of something that happened this week. Tell me something neat. They know I'm going to ask them. And I don't let people just say, oh, a resident came by and said, thanks for fixing my work order. I'm like, give me a better story. Something happened this week. So now they're starting to write them down and remember. Every month during this crisis, I think the first month we Tip Treats. If you haven't heard of that company, we sent cookies to every single team member of the whole company. They deliver them warm. Last month we did Sweet Treats or Sweet Treat. It's a $20 gift card that we sent to everybody. You go online and pick out your favorite candy, and they mail it to you. We try really hard to, here's this, and at my company we believe that if we don't take care of our team members, we don't have a job. So I asked them, and we do sentiment and calls. We ask them at the beginning of every call, "How you feeling? What'd you do this weekend? What's worrying you?" And I think that empathy that we show, and I really do care about my people. That empathy we show, it translates to our customers too. We even do scripted responses whenever it's the beginning of the month and we're talking. I gave them scripted responses instead of just leaving it to everybody to come up with. When someone says, "I don't have to pay my rent," well, let's talk about that. And we say, "How you doing during this crisis? Tell me how you feel. Tell me more about that." And we become more human about it.
Wow, this is amazing. I think, Jamie, we're gonna start wrap it up. We talked about we started with talking about facts. We went to TikTok. We talked about poop. We've been all over the board. I've been noting down all the money you spent, and this whole thing, all these ideas. I think you spent $122 total. It's literally amazing. So can we get some jazz hands? I mean, some thumbs up, Jamin. This has been incredible. We do have I don't know, you might have the slide, Jamin. We always offer a loop and tie prize to anybody that shares the best idea and they send it in through the chat or to John Lee or Tiffany. So if we get a great idea, Jamin, we'll make sure we share it with you, and then we give them a little prize where they get some choice, get to pick it. So last call for questions out there. Tiffany, John Lee, anybody else got any questions? Anything we want to cover?
I don't see any additional questions. I did put Jamin's email in the chat box for all of you that want to reach out to him for any of the information. We will have the video and the recording up as well. Several of the different websites were put on the chat too. So no, Jamin, this has been awesome. But yeah, anyone else want to unmute yourself for the following couple of minutes with any questions?
I got this question. It didn't come from me from anywhere, but into my brain. It's Tony Blake. And Tony Blake says, come next week. We're going to have the best self-guided tour in real life, real world session of all time. She's throwing down the challenge. She's going to have more people than we had this week. I can hear her saying this in my head right now. So come check us out next week on Coffee and Conversation. We're really trying to handle real world things that come up, that are live, that are issues that you're facing now. So if you have topics, you have ideas, send them to us. Jamin, you're the best, man. We've been blessed to have Tony and you on, and we've had some others. This has been a fun ride for us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Jamin, it's been awesome. Thank you so much. And for everyone, have a great day, and we will see you next Thursday.
All right.
Thanks, guys.